look in the mirror, when I look in the mirror, baby, I see it clear. Why you wanna be nearer? I'm not surprised, I sympathize. I can't deny your appetite. You got a fetish for my...
Hey everybody, and thank you so much for tuning in to Amber Speaks 2. Yes, I'm back again. Surprise, you shouldn't be. It's late. It's late right now. For some reason, I can't seem to like do this earlier in the day. It's like every single time I try, it doesn't happen. My schedule is super crazy, super hectic, and then on top of that, obviously, I'm a mom. So, it's crazy because you would think I'd have like millions of kids. I just have one, and he is like 2, and it's still very mind-boggling. So, yeah, I am back. I got some energy. I'm talking low because I want to be, respectful, because I'm not back in Arizona right now. I'm still here. I will be leaving next week, I believe, and going back home. I'm at my mommy dear's house. Mommy dear's. She hates when I call her mommy dear's. My mom has spoiled me. That is, more than half the problem. But I'm super grateful for my mom. She's the best. She really is. She really gets on my nerves, like really drives me nuts. Like, it's really weird. Like, I feel like maybe in our past life we were sisters, but I don't know. Tonight, anyway, we are going to jump into Ready to Love, Season 7, Episode Trace. So, there was, to me, a lot to unpack this episode, to be honest. I'm glad that it's picking up some speed, some pace. I'll go off the back and just tell you right now, I'm not seeing it. I'm not seeing it with, like, really any of the couples yet. I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see at the end who actually ends up choosing each other. For the ones that are left, the ones that don't get voted off, I'm interested to see how who the end couples are going to be, because I'm just not seeing it. Like in some of the dynamics, I can see like maybe a good friendship. I see a good, adult session with some of the chemistry with some of them. But and then some I see maybe there could be like some sort of chemistry, but I'm not seeing like any really strong chemistry. That's just me. Again, I don't watch other people's views when I do my reviews. I don't watch what everybody else is saying, what they're doing, what they're picking up, what their feedback is, because I don't want my thoughts and my reviews and my perspective to be skewed or swayed in any way. So I don't know if anybody else is seeing it. I don't see it yet. But again, it's episode 3, so things could change. I'm gonna jump right into I told y'all it was gonna be Blake or Fabrice taking their asses home. Fabrice going, even though like I said it's either gonna be Blake or Fabrice. But I said, knowing how like sometimes how entertainment and these kind of shows are produced and things like that, like the reality TV portion of it, I was thinking like they were gonna keep Fabrice on. But then again, so I was thinking that like it was gonna either be Fabrice or Blake that gets sent home. I was thinking that Fabrice needed to be the one to go home, but I was thinking like with the production and TV world, they'd probably keep him on because they'd be so extra and for the drama and the ratings and stuff like that. But I think maybe it was even best for him to go home too, just because of the narrative that was being painted too. Again, I'm not saying that there was nothing for them to go off of. he gave a lot for them to go off of as far as from what we can see as the viewer. He did talk about sex a lot, and that turned a lot of the women off. Again, I did mention, like, I do kind of see, like, what he was saying as far as, like, oh, I throw stuff out there to kind of see, like, how people react. Like I told you, I have done that in, you know, the dating world. Just, like, throwing stuff out there, seeing if people, like, how they, sorry. I'm sorry, oh, I got mascara. I didn't even see that. My eyes have been, like, watering like crazy, and I don't even know why. But, gosh. Anyway, y'all have to, it's gonna have to just be like that, because I don't know why it's dark right there. Oh, it's a shadow or what's going on. I know some of my mascara is dropping down though, because my eyes have been watering. I should have probably like handled that beforehand, but who cares. Anyways, so I don't know. I do see like what he's saying. Like, you throw stuff out there, you make people feel uncomfortable, see how people are gonna react to it, and it's kind of fun. So, but in terms of just in today's world, in today's society, with everything going on, with everything going on, I'm not even gonna say no nothing. Y'all can figure it out for yourselves when it comes to the matters of sex and sexual things. It's like, you know, you definitely want to be careful. I can understand where he's coming from, again, in regards to like a culture difference. That's a real thing. So if that's, you know, truly what it is, I do believe there could be a cultural difference there. I'm hoping he didn't spend just, you know, 1 or 2 years overseas and then saying that it could be a cultural difference. I'm hoping that, you know, he's been over there for a significant amount of time and maybe hasn't spent a lot of time here in America to understand how that can rub people the wrong way. And then the flip side of that too, you know, I really honestly think that, and this is just me, I could be wrong. You know, we as people, when we're dating, we am I getting an email from work at however late at night? It's almost 1 o'clock in the morning. We will give energy to what we want to give energy to and who we want to give energy to. I just feel like if it was Mark Anthony, for example, with that New York accent and, you know, his cute face and, you know what I'm saying, all that, I feel like if he was spilling a lot of the same, like, information and verbiage and rhetoric that Fabrice was saying, I wonder if it would have been the same kind of, like, reaction. Because I know for sure there are some guys that cannot get away with other. I mean, it's so crazy because me and my best friend, we went out this past weekend, which we haven't been out in so long. I haven't been out in so long, but we decided to go out and do like a little lounge or whatever. And I'm not gonna. So, anyways, one of my guy friends, you know, we were texting and stuff, and he said he's gonna stop by, and then he ended up not stopping by, which, you know, who gives a damn? He's my friend, and I know that he wants more than a friendship with me. However, he's been in the friend zone for, I don't know, 12 years, maybe 15 years, actually. I won't get into any background, but my whole point is I let him know, you know, sometimes, because with him, I'll just stick on this. He does certain things to try to fix, like try to see if I will move a certain way, or if it's gonna upset me, or he's really the kind of guy that will do anything I tell him to do. That's just what it is. I mean, it is what it is. But lately, the last couple years, he's been like trying something different, I guess. Maybe, you know, thinking if he's late, or if he doesn't show up, or if he doesn't text back right away, then maybe it'll get me to react to him a certain way, or want him in a certain way that he would like me to want him. And I had to tell him, you're not XYZ. You're not, you know, this person, you know, that we know in common. You know, you can't, and I'm older now too, so you whatever you're trying to do is not going to work for you. It worked for so-and-so at that time, not going to work for you, because you don't have it like that with me. So I'm not saying that, I said all that to say, I'm not saying that it would have been any different if Mark Anthony, I'm just going off him, I'm just using him as an example. If he would have did it, for example, then maybe the women wouldn't have been so up in arms. But I know that that's a real thing too. So I'm wondering if, because like I said, there are certain guys that can come to me, they're saying this and this and this, and they're saying certain things about sex. I'd be like, and I don't want you. It's like, you're turning me off. You need to stop. You need to quit. You need to keep it moving. It's disrespectful. It's rude. It's making me uncomfortable. But if it was a guy that I was like really like feeling like, oh, okay, oh, you said what? Excuse me, okay, you like it like what? You would I would probably entertain it, in a different manner because of the person. So anyways, I don't want to drag it out, but I just feel like, I don't know if Mark Anthony, for example, would have got that same kind of energy. Or if Mike from however many seasons, whatever season that was ago, like I think maybe his first season, tall, brown skinned, bald headed guy that a lot of women were attracted to. He gets brought up a lot, even now. I don't know if he was saying things like that if women would be so up in arms. So I do think that it does depend on the person to some degree. Moving on. So yeah, it was definitely Fabrice's time to go. That was not, it wasn't going to work for him. I guess I'll stay on Fabrice just because I'll go into the whole Corvea thing. I was going to kind of leave that for last because, I'm not going to, no, I'm wait. I'll wait on that because that was too good. That was too good. Okay, so the date with Mark Anthony and Mercedes, I thought that was cute. I actually like them together. I can actually see like something. I'm not saying I see like fireworks, but I definitely see some kind of spark, something there. I think he finds her, in his words, cute. I don't know if I would like the word cute as a grown-ass woman, but man, that I find attractive and I've made it known, and you tell me I'm cute, that could worry me a little bit. Could worry me just a little bit. So I don't know. But I do think he finds her, there's some attraction there on his side, and then attraction from her side. And I like her personality. She's really bubbly and she seems very sweet. And again, I like their vibe together. Their conversation flowed really well. Again, I feel like if it's if it's not a romantic connection, I feel like they could be friends and stuff like that too, which is nice. They didn't dig super deep into the conversation. I do like the fact that she was honest about her last relationship and how the guy, had, what happened in that situation. It doesn't sound like she was like, at least from what we've seen, she wasn't like dragging it out or getting emotional about it or anything like that. But she was honest, like, hey, that my last relationship, this is what happened. He, stepped out on me. He had a child with somebody else. Anywho, so that's crazy, and that's definitely like, I couldn't even imagine someone doing that to me. That's super hard, and so that sucks. But I like the fact that he was very receptive, very understanding, and he she didn't lose him on that. And so I thought that was really nice. I like how their conversation flowed. He seemed like a solid guy still. I haven't seen any red flags yet. So I like him. He's easygoing. She's easygoing. It could potentially, we'll see. I don't know. And then I'm gonna move on to Suzanne and Blake on that same exact date. No, I don't see it. I don't see any chemistry. Man. Oh man. Have you ever like looked back at some of the seasons and be like, you want to like pluck certain people from certain seasons and put them in another season or whatever? Like, yeah, I'm like, all kind of stuff be going through my mind. thinking of like who I feel like would be a better match. And yes, that's just how I am. I'm you know, in my heart and in my mind, I am a matchmaker. So I be, you know, like in my mind, I'm like, no, I think I can see her vibing with so and so, or him vibing with so and so. But I definitely don't feel any kind of connection between Suzanne and Blake. And I know that, and I know we all have to be understanding that it's a dating situation, and it's new, and everyone's still meeting each other, and not everybody's interactions are gonna flow a certain way. Some people hit it off differently than others. But I just don't see it. And then Blake giving her the nickname Susu, I just thought it was like an attempt to try to come off opposite than what everyone has said. Like, I feel like it was his way of showing like, look, I'm fun. I can, you know, I'm open, and see, I can have a good time too. I don't know. I can't even explain it. I feel like it was like an attempt for him to try to look like fun, because I think he hasn't come off fun in everybody's eyes so far in the season. And I don't see that changing either. I don't care. I don't really care if he decides to jump off, like bungee jumped, or I don't care if he decided to do something really ballsy, more than the Kangoo. Like, there's really nothing he can do that would make me feel like he's like a fun person, anyway. So I thought that was like a little bit of a weak attempt to try to connect with Suzanne with the whole Susu nickname. Yeah. Yeah, I don't see that going anywhere. But I think Suzanne is oh my God, what was her name? What was that girl's name from? It was from the season with KG Smooth, Rashid, and Adriana and those guys. I forgot what season, whatever season that was. Oh my God, I just lost my thought. Oh my God. Oh, I still forget her name, but she was obliging. What she said? I was obliging his KG's interest. That was so damn shady. And after all that, she was like, and I would still date them both. Was like, girl, after everything you took KG through that whole season, and then you get on the reunion, still kind of dogging him out, and then at the end you're like, I still oblige him now. I still date him now. Nia, or I forget her dang old name right now. It's crazy. Anyways, short hair, brown skin, but she was one that I guess curb, dogged, whatever you want to call it, KG. But I think that's what Suzanne is doing. I think she's obliging his interest. I don't think she's really interested. But, you know, at the end of the day, it is, you know, a competition. No matter how you look at it, that's what it is. So, yeah. Ooh, okay. I'm going to jump right into this one. I'm going to, you know, I'll try to keep these, like, not more than 20 minutes, but it's so much going on. So, Cynthia and Andre. I don't see it. You know what? I don't see it. You know, Andre seems like a nice guy. He seems like a solid guy. She seems like a solid woman. I don't see them being an actual, like, long-lasting romantic couple. I definitely can see sexual chemistry. You know, I can see that there's sexual chemistry between them two. This is my thing. Andre, to me, gives me, and I can't, he literally looks like my dad even more now than he did episode 1. It's kind of crazy. So it's giving me, it's weirding me out a little bit. Anyways, Andre, to me, just I don't think he's ready. I honestly don't. I think he came to the show, and maybe his intentions were great. And then also on top of that, I don't think he felt like he would meet someone like Cynthia. You know what I'm saying? Some people go into thinking they're sorry. Some people go into things. Sorry. Some people go into things and their mind and their mental is very like surface level, very surface level, and then it's like, oh wait, this is getting real. This is getting kind of serious right now. I think that Andre could easily end up with a girl on the show, a woman on the show, and it'd be fun and it'd be a good time and it'd be like, oh, we're dating, we're hanging out, we're traveling, we're having a good time, we're kicking it. But I think the moment that it gets real serious or when real things come up, life things come up, I just don't think he's there. The biggest difference that I see between Cynthia and Andre is not only so far from what I've heard, because I haven't heard anything that Andre has been through. I haven't heard anything about, like, you know, he doesn't have any kids that I am aware of. It doesn't sound like he's been through anything. Like, we all go through certain things, you know, don't get me wrong, and I'm not like minimizing anything that anyone goes through. I hate that, because I even have friends and, you know, growing up, people like, Amber, you haven't been through that, you're spoiled, you get this, you get that, your mom, you're like, I go through stuff too, you know, and even now, like, what do you go, I go through a lot. Just because I'm not talking about it don't mean anything, you know, and so I'm not minimizing, you know, anything that he has been through, but I'm saying what's been brought to the show, what's been brought to the surface, what's been brought to the conversations that he's had with the different women. I don't hear anything where he's been through something. Cynthia sounds like she's been through something, and she's making that clear. On top of that, she has children, right? That is a lot of responsibility to take on, not only one child, but multiple children. I think in the beginning, when a man sees something that he likes or is intrigued by or interested in or whatever the case may be, I think everything sounds easy, right? It sounds, oh yeah, sure, I'll do it. Yeah, no problem. Yeah, I make the beans, I make the rice. I know that's off of Martin. But that's not, but then reality starts to hit. Reality starts to kick in. And when she asked Andre, like, how do you, you know, how would you handle, what did she say? She said, essentially asking him, like, how would you handle a woman, talking about herself, who, you know, who's been through things, who, you know, may need like pretty much guidance, you know, in terms of a man, in terms of that masculine energy, because she hasn't really had that, you know. How would he handle that? And his response was, you know, like in pretty much saying, like, I would be able to handle it. Like, I'm willing to step to the plate and teach you and be there, you know, with you through this process. But I liked that Andre, I feel like he's very aware. He comes off very like nice and cool, and but almost a little oblivious in some way. But it's like he smartened up right there. It's like at that very moment, he smartened up. He asked her, he said, well, how do you take direction? Like, how are you, like, in a relationship? Like, would you be able to take direction from me? Or he was saying something along those lines, like, okay, you're saying that you need to be taught. Are you okay with me teaching? You know, you say that here, but do you truly mean that, you know, here? And I thought that was really, really smart for him to come back and ask that question to her. Cynthia saying, you know, her response is pretty much like she's grown. Like, maybe at one point she wouldn't have been able to take direction or take, you know, teaching and or whatever in terms of in a relationship with a man and things like that, but she's grown, and I guess maybe she's more open to it now. I feel like that's a convenient answer. I feel like she's a very smart woman. I'm gonna just let you know, she's a smart woman. Very, very smart woman. And I also feel like she has an answer for everything. I'm not saying you shouldn't. I'm just saying just what I see. It's like no matter what questions the guys ask her, I feel like she always has a really, really good answer. I mean, how can you never stumble? How can you never, I don't know. I don't know. I just feel like she has an answer for everything. To me, I wouldn't say it's a red flag. It's definitely like a yellow flag, though. I feel like when somebody has an answer for everything, no matter what question is, where it is, who, what's going on, like you just literally have an answer for everything. I always question that. Not that she's a bad person. She's like a great person, but I'm just saying, like, in terms of how she answers the questions with the guys so far, and I'm going to be looking for that. I'm sure that's going to continue because I feel like it's a personality. It's a part of, she says she's been through a lot. I feel like she probably has had to be strong and things like that. And so I think that's a part of it too. Being able to handle herself, being able to, focus under pressure, under circumstances that are not easy, being able to, show up, even under the pressure when there's things that are hitting the fan. And so I feel like that's really easy for her to answer questions, even if it's, whether it's true or not true. It's just like, you answer those questions and you ask me, this is my answer. This is how I'm responding to this. But again, I don't know if it's, I guess only time will tell, when it comes to, how genuine she is when it comes to Andre. And Andre, I can see how someone could take him because, now I'm not going to say Cynthia, I'm going to say generally, I'm going to say a woman. I feel like when somebody like that, a personality like his, is really easy to think maybe, oh, because he's like charismatic, and sometimes that charisma can come off as, I don't want to say the word weak, but it can come off to a woman. Yes, we like men that are charismatic, but for me, and a lot of women, it's like, oh, he has charisma, he's bubbly, he's outgoing. All of these things can make a woman think like he is, oh, yeah. He's exactly what I need. Like, he's exactly what especially as we get older and we're not married and don't have, we don't have that family, husband, family life and things like that. And that's what we're all looking for, right? So I think as you get older, you start to look at things from a different perspective. You're not looking for the hot guy. You're not looking for the bad boys. You're not looking for these things when you're in your, like when you're in your 20s, you start to get your 30s and your 40s. You're like, okay, I gotta smarten up here. Okay, this guy's pretty easy to mold. This guy's, I think I have control of the situation. And that's just what it is. Like, that's just what it is. And I think what that is because if you've been taking so many losses, especially when you're getting your 30s and 40s, you're not in a committed relationship, you're not engaged or on your way to be married or married, it's like, okay, I got to do things differently now. How can I make this thing that I have in my mind become my reality? If I'm dealing with the same kind of guys I was dealing with back in my 20s, that's not gonna work. I need somebody that I can kind of do this and make it all happen. Most of us women have that option. We just have to choose to go that route. And in some cases, it can be settling, in some cases. So anyways, Cynthia and Andre, I don't see that as like a match made in heaven from my perspective. I think Anthony is Andre's a good guy. I think he when he's mature enough, when he's truly ready in his heart of hearts, I think he'd be a great husband, probably a great family man, and all those things. I can see that in him. When he's actually ready, though, the key word is when he's ready. A key word with a lot of these guys is when they're ready, with any guy. So I'm gonna leave that there. So we'll see how that works out. And then just really quick, that also just points to the whole like when he asked her previously, like, can you be submissive, I think he knew. It's like Andre knows. It's like he knows what he sees in her. He sees, he finds her attractive. I know he's attracted to her sexually, but I think he's trying to get down to the root of like, okay, I see these things in her, but is she really who she says she is, or is she really who she is telling me she is? He's like, is she submissive? You know why he asked if she was submissive? Because she wasn't giving him submissive vibes. You know why he brought up the fact that he's an alpha male? Because he was trying to let her know, like, hey, I'm an alpha male. Is that gonna work for you? I feel like he's already getting a tingling. But as humans, as we do, we overlook a lot of things. And again, it's nothing like nothing's wrong with her. It's just what everybody's personal preference is. If you know that you like a woman that's submissive, someone who is not, a woman who is submissive, and a woman who is going to, cater to their man and all of these things, but you like everything about the woman physically, but then you start to get down to the meat of things, and it doesn't, it's not there, then that's when we should be like, okay, beautiful woman, sexy woman, whatever, but we definitely are not compatible. I also think that's the reason why he brought up the compatibility thing. It's like, if you're not paying attention to him, you might think like, a lot of stuff is going over his head, but it's not. Nothing is going over his head. Not in regards to Cynthia. It's not. Anywho, let's move on. I'm going to try to wrap this up. That was just a lot going on there. There's more I could say there, but I'm just trying to keep it to the point. Corvea and Fabrice. Oh my God. Talking about hey. Whew, that was the funniest part of the show. I'm not even gonna lie. Hey, I told y'all she was giving me city girl vibes. Okay, why don't y'all listen to me? I be knowing stuff. I know it be taking me 20 years to get to my point, but you get the point. You'll get the point, and I'm making sense, and I know I'm talking about just city girl. And he figured it out. He figured it out. It's not surprising though. He's been around women like her. He's been around plenty of women like her. So it's not shocking that oh, my popsicle melted. It's not shocking. He called her out. Fabrice called Corvea. She tried to play it off. The only thing I'm gonna say about their situation, because I could say more, but I do like the fact that Fabrice was honest with her about how he was viewing her. Like, he was straight to the point. If that was a woman that was more mature, things like that, she might have not took it so hard. But I think, with Corvea being a little younger and she's kind of in her own world, to some degree, it's like, excuse me, you coming for me? Like, how you gonna tell me, who I am, and how you think you don't know me better than I know myself? And I can understand that too, but I think he was just calling her out. He was just calling her like he see it, seen it. And, I definitely seen it. I'm hoping the audience and all, the rest of everybody's seen it, because it was pretty obvious. But I think Young Miami needs to do like a class. Maybe I don't know her, but maybe maybe like email her, publish or do something. I know she's really busy, but maybe just like, the women out there who want that, who are having a hard time trying to figure out how to do it, if they're about that life, maybe she should be teaching these women, who want that kind of life, how to talk, how to be confident, how not to be so obvious, how not to show your cards, by her asking about, if he has a business. And this is my thing, of course, those are normal questions, but when she said, oh, is this a trick? I told them that I wanted a guy who had a business and sold it. Yeah, it was a lot. It was a lot. And then she tried to clean it up by saying, oh, no, it's not. It has nothing to do with the monetary. It has nothing to do with monetary means. But yet, the whole entire show and conversation, you've been talking to people with these guys, these men, and talking about they can't take care of you and you're a bombshell, how can they think about, and if you don't have your own place, and like just all of these things that scream material. It's giving, she's too obvious. And again, I think a lot of it has to do with because she's young. She doesn't know how to have these conversations with men of these kind of men. That kind of man, Fabrice. And there's a lot of men like him out in the world. Now, if she would have known what to say, how to say it, when to say it, where to say it, he would have probably gladly been able to meet all of her needs. She's too obvious. It's too easy, And he made that clear. He's like, he said, he said, if I look like you, I'd be the same way. I said, oh, he's a man. And then when he said, you're funny, girl, you're funny. It's like, he knew. So I'll leave it at that. Hopefully, yeah. He figured her out really quick. It didn't take much. And like I said, I knew that first episode, so that's not too shocking to me. The last couple things I'll leave with is Tony. I agree with when Cynthia in the ladies' lounge was talking about Tony, like he is. I don't know. I'm just feeling I'm not saying I feel bad vibes off of him. I just feel like not there for the right reasons. I think he's just like between Marcia, between Morgan, like I just feel like every woman he talks to, he gives the same exact energy. Like you don't know where he's at. Like you really don't know where he's at based off what we've seen so far. So I'm definitely not, I personally feel like he should get eliminated, but they could keep him around if, a lot of the women like him. I guess Morgan said a lot of women feeling him, I guess. But Tony is not giving me he's ready. The Demario and Jeffrey, I'll touch on this. The Demario and Jeffrey date. I do see a little bit of something. But again, Demario has no kids. I feel like that will be a concern for me. That's why I feel like if you have a kid or have kids, I feel like it's best to like be with someone who already has kids. Like that's just what it is. Even if they just have one, as long as they're not like 2-3 months old, because we all know what that's given. But Demario and Jeffrey, I see a little something there. I don't see it being like anything super strong. I don't see like a super strong connection there. I don't see anything romantic, that I can see like, them moving forward and like really truly like being in a committed relationship and in a marriage. I don't see that either. Lyndon and Jonique, I can see them being really good friends. Jonique, she just needs somebody different. I don't think Lyndon is that one. I don't think Lyndon is the one. So I don't know. That's just pretty much my thoughts on season. Sorry, I keep saying season. Episode 3. Still not seeing the couples. I still don't see it yet. Out of everybody, I probably see maybe Mercedes and Mark Anthony. Just because, like, out of everybody, I don't even know if I see that one, like, long term. You know, I could see them going out on some dates, maybe hanging out. Maybe they did end up dating, you know, and through the reunion. I don't know if it's going to be, like, something that goes on for a couple years even, at least. Oh, my gosh. Oh, my God. Sorry. So, yeah. Anywho. I don't really see it with any of the couples. If anything, I think out of all the couples, maybe Mercedes and Mark Anthony. Yeah, I'm not seeing it with anybody. I'm going to just go ahead and give my prediction for episode 4 for who's going home. I think the ladies are on the chopping blocks now. And I'm going to say, I'm going Corvea first. I'm just going to say Corvea. I'm not even going to give a second person. I almost feel like it'll be the same one that I said the first, last episode. Because I said last episode, out of the guys, it's going to be Blake or Fabrice. And then out of the women, I said it's going to be either Corvea or Jonique. I'll stick there just because I got to see more connections that Jonique has. So I'll say Corvea or Jonique. But I'm stronger on Corvea. But yeah, I don't know, y'all. This is going to be interesting. This went way over, but I think there was so much to talk about, especially with Andre and Cynthia. So we'll see how it all plays out. Thank you for coming to hang out with me. I will be back. I'm going to try to get these out a little bit sooner, at least like before the new week comes in, but it's just so hard because I'm swamped. But I enjoy this. I enjoy whoever would have thought that I would ever do something like this. I don't like being on camera. I don't like the way that I look on camera. My features don't translate very well on camera to me. I don't like the idea of, even though I know I'm like not nowhere near famous, but I mean just the thought of like having something public in like on some sort of platform, like it's just not me. Like I've never been the kind of person that like likes a lot of attention. I'm an introvert. I'm a Virgo, so I'm just like I don't like any of that like a lot of attention. I just like to be like low key. So this is very interesting to me, but I enjoy it. I think it's fun and it gives me something extra to do. You know, as a Virgo, we like to have a lot of things to do. We like to be busy, stay busy, even if we're like about to croak over and die because of we're tired and hungry and thirsty. We just want to work. We want to work. But anyways, thank you so much for stopping in and hanging out with me. I appreciate you, and I'll see you on the next episode. Peace.
Look in the mirror.